and welcome to the ease of use portion of the What's New in GibbsCAM 2023 video series. In this video, I want to show you some of the enhancements that have been made to the latest version of GibbsCAM that make it even more intuitive and user-friendly. So the first thing that I want to talk about is we've added a way to sort and organize your coordinate systems and work groups here. So if I come over to my coordinate systems, you can see I've made a couple coordinate systems here. This part is a 5-axis part and was programmed with the center of rotation at the bottom here. So I have 3 coordinate systems with the origin at the bottom here. And then I used a top plane for a couple of my operations as well. So we can now hit new category here and kind of drag them into a folder, as you'll see here in a second. I'm going to give it a name that makes sense, and so any coordinate system that makes sense, I can just click and drag it into this folder here, and that way it's a little bit less cluttered. I know a lot of people have, sometimes dozens of coordinate systems, so drag those in. And you can also hide or show all coordinate systems at the same time, or I could hide all of them at the same time, collapse, all that kind of good stuff that you're familiar with in Windows. We also have the same addition to our work groups here. So I use geometry a couple times here to create my stock and to mill and stuff like that. So I have sorted those as well. The next big ease of use enhancement that we've made is a new thing called work areas in the document control dialog box. Before I show you that, I want to show you kind of the problem, the issue that I'm having here. So when I jump into Machine Sim, I have my stock sitting on my machine here. When I hit play though, you'll notice that the trunnion tilts backwards. So there's nothing wrong with the actual operation that I'm doing, but the programmer, me, I can't see what's happening in the simulation. Also, when they put it out on the machine, they won't be able to see what's going on through the window. So I want the same operation, but I want the A-axis to tilt forward. So what we can do is go into our document control here, and we have a new tab called Work Areas, and I'm going to create a new work area. I'm going to call it something like A-axis positive. Okay, so I'm going to check both of the boxes on my second rotary axis, which is my A-axis here, and rather than giving it full range of motion, I'm going to limit it to between 0 and 120 here, right? So now that I've created that, I can go and apply that to any operation that I am having this problem with, right? So I go into my operation data, and there's a new thing saying work area here, and any kind of work area that I define should show up here. So now I actually don't even have to regenerate this operation. It's the exact same toolpath. It's just all the negative A values are now going to be positive A values. And so now everyone can see what's actually going on. And it doesn't have to be the A-axis. You can limit any axis on a machine that has more than one rotary axis. So we actually had this functionality in GibbsCAM before, but what you had to do before was contact your reseller or the GibbsCAM post department, and they had to make some changes to your MDD, your machine that you select in your document control, in order for you to be able to do this. So now we're just kind of taking the middleman out, giving the user more power, and I think everybody likes that. The last thing I want to show you in the ease of use portion of the video is activating and deactivating operations. So you'll notice that I have 3 operations here, but when I went to Machine Sim, it would only play the last one. That's because these first 2 operations have been deactivated, and you can tell they're deactivated because they have a kind of a dull, a gray background like this. So it's pretty easy to activate and deactivate. I can just activate now, and now all my operations are activated, and I can jump into my Machine Sim, and we should see all the operations now. So kind of the idea behind this one is that you could program the same part in 2 different ways, and then you can compare runtimes or tooling requirements or anything like that and make a decision on which way you want to go into production with. So before that was kind of hard. You had to do it in 2 separate files, and it was kind of could be cumbersome. So when you deactivate an operation, it pretends like it is never there. So any operations below it that have material only won't see the material that those operations took out. So you know, if you made a whole program and some of the operations were using material only, and then you went back and deactivated, if you regenerate these bottom operations, it'll actually pretend like the material was never there. So so that's all I have for you in the easy use portion of this release. Hopefully these changes help users program their parts faster than ever and reduce the number of times you need to contact the post department. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.